All right, welcome back. Lake Effect Sports. We're back. Indians kind of as well back. They had a rocky start to the beginning of the week, and they kind of bounced back pretty well. Matt, what's your kind of big takeaway from the week?
Um, I'd say it started out pretty well with how Zach Plesac almost no hit the Mariners. They ended up winning 4-2, but it kind of that ninth inning kind of started a bad momentum swing to where it carried over into the rest of the weekend. Ended up losing three in a row. Just was ugly. The pitching and the hitting was just not it. And then you took 2 out of 3 from the Angels, which was desperately needed. Like just getting that momentum was so huge for them. It was kind of a weird week, but at the end of the day, you're like 3-4 over that 7 game stretch, and you can't really complain.
Yeah, especially when, the problem was you were looking to bare minimum split in Seattle, and instead you lost three. So that just kind of felt like the world was collapsing, especially when you lost the first game of the Angels series, which you ended up winning. So I think
Yeah,
fans overreacted quickly, and like they have all year, just blamed Dolan for us losing and everything like that. Team had a bad week. Pitchers didn't pitch great. Hitters didn't hit great. It's not a recipe for success. Kind of a lot better with the Angels, but it wasn't our best week of the year, that's for sure.
yeah, it could have been a lot worse, but at the same time, it did show that the flaws that we've all kind of realized. Like the hitting can be hit or miss, and depending on certain days, it could be really bad, and some days it could be near somewhat confident. But like the one thing that we didn't really like see that was great was like Shane Bieber didn't really pitch that well. The back end of the rotation kind of had it's like speed bumps. It was kind of ugly on that standpoint, but that's we kind of knew this. We kind of knew that those were the concerns. So it wasn't that surprising.
Yeah, I think the Bieber, the bad Plesac start, and the bad Savali starts all kind of just happened at the same time when the back end of the rotation also struggled. So it just felt much worse than what it was.
Yeah, like it just felt that's just what that weekend felt like. It just like felt like everything was coming in at the worst time, and all like the hitting wasn't doing its thing or the pitching. It just was that type of week, but it is what it is.
Luckily, the Indians do have reinforcements coming. Supposedly Friday, Owen Miller's supposed to be on the team. I don't know if that's just a rumor, but it seems kind of like every media person in Cleveland's picking up on it, and every Indians fan on earth is just begging for Owen Miller to be called up. So I would be really shocked if we don't see him in this series against the Twins, or at worst, the Tigers.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely be at this homestand at least like at earliest like the Twin series, if not the Tigers, but he's definitely going to get a shot. The dude's hitting like around 500. It's like video game numbers down in AAA. Like he's going to get a shot soon.
And now it's been stretched over more than 50 at bats, where it's not just, oh, he went off for 3 games. There's a significant portion of time now where he's crushing the baseball. We don't have any bats. Someone getting on base, we'll take it, whoever it is.
Yeah, yeah, we just need bats. Like everybody always like worries about, oh, what position will he play? Just get him in the lineup. You'll figure out where he plays later, because like you can put him at first, you can put him at second, short, whatever position you need him to. We just need bats right now, like just consistent bats.
Yeah. More importantly, for kind of the build of the team, does that mean Chang's on the out right now, or who do you think is going to be moved down or out?
He's probably an obvious candidate. Josh Naylor has pretty much taken those like at bats away from him. Like before, he was just hitting against lefties, and Naylor would be in right field. But now Naylor's playing first while Yu Chang's riding the bench. So he's probably an obvious candidate. Another probably is maybe Jake Bowers, but he's playing slightly better. So
Well,
maybe
my thing with Bowers, over his last 40 at bats, he's hitting over 270 now.
yeah, like it is good to see. It's definitely good to see him progress slowly but surely. But like he's probably saved him some time. He's at least shown that you can keep him on the roster in some type, shape, or form.
He's I'm a Jake Bauers defender right now, and I feel like I'm the only one in the world, but he's one of the few guys recently that's been getting on base. Hard to kind of cut any Indians player that's getting on base right now.
True. Like he's hitting over 200. He's slowly getting up there in average wise. And like he hit a bomb against Shohei Ohtani. Like it was a much needed bomb too. Like if not for that, they don't tie the game.
Yeah, it was definitely a huge at bat there. And maybe just because of the significance of that homer too, that buys him some time. But I'm not ready to see Bauers go just yet. I know everyone else that's an Indians fan is ready to see him go. And if you would have asked me probably before this week, I might have been with all of them. But he had a good week. One of the few guys that had a good week. And I think that leads into our main topic of the day, 3 stars. You had first pick last week, so I think it's over to me.
Okay.
It's an easy number 1 star, and it was Jose Ramirez. He was one of the very few small bright spots in this offense. He was smashing the ball, smashing home runs. Second in the American League in home runs right now?
Yeah, he's just behind Ohtani, which is insane. But yeah, he's just been our MVP. No doubt about it.
He's getting close to our Bieber status of we might not be allowed to pick him.
Yeah, he might be in that territory where he might be just that guy in the corner, like the Jose Ramirez moment of the week guy. Like we might need to dedicate a spot for him.
Yeah. All right. Your first pick?
I'm gonna go with Josh Naylor. Like he had 2 big hits during the Angels series. One was the home run that gave us the win on Tuesday, and then the RBI single that ended up being the winning run yesterday. So like that, he's my first pick.
Yeah. My second pick, big one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick Brian Shaw.
Oh, okay.
He is great. He stepped into a bigger role this week, and he did everything he was asked to do. He and Karinchak are just 2 dominant relievers this year. I don't know what Brian Shaw did to fix everything that was wrong, because towards the tail end of his Indians career, he was kind of starting to shoot down. And when he went to Colorado, and I think he went somewhere else even after that, he just really struggled. And it looks like he's kind of figured it out again. And thank goodness Tito gave him a second chance, because I know I wouldn't have given him another one.
Yeah, most of the fan base would have. Like, it's crazy to think that his redemption story, like with that, he's pretty much turned it around, like at like age 34, and he's still throwing 96. Like, it's insane.
Beyond insane. Speechless. Who you got at number 2, Matt?
Number 2, I'm going to go with Savali. Like, he is he's taking that leap, that Shane Bieber type leap where he's just giving you 7 innings, like just always there, consistently getting you through 7 innings. And like, he's kind of like Diet Kluber in a sense because of his composure. He's just paints the corners. And I just love like Savali. Like, he's my number 2.
He's not as nasty as Kluber. Kluber is great again, which sucks. I'm going to pause our 3 stars to comment on that. Everyone's like claiming like, oh, Kluber, great. He threw no hitter. He's pitching for the freaking Yankees. Who's cheering for Corey Kluber on the Yankees? I get he was great. Loved by Cleveland. I loved him. One of my favorite Indians players of all time. If you're playing for New York, I hate you. Plain and simple. I will never support a Yankee. That's it. All right. My third pick. I'm gonna cheat. I'm trying to think right now, and there's a couple guys I might be able to give my third pick to, but I'm giving it to Owen Miller for finally getting Yu Chang off this lineup. So that's my third pick.
Definitely can agree with that. Definitely can agree. I'm gonna go with Karinchak with my third pick. Dude's been dynamite this week. Like, just I don't know if he's like taken over the closer role, but he's just established himself as definitely one of the best relievers in the game. Like, he's definitely in that Josh Hader, Aroldis Chapman type of level right now. Like, you can't question that.
Yeah, and his big thing is that Clase has also kind of struggled this week. Not in this week, just been a couple weeks where his location's been off, and people have been able to kind of sit back on that fastball now.
Yeah, it's not like typical struggles where he's like giving up runs. It's just hits, and like he's kind of like not being as aggressive, which like I think he'll get that back. But right now with Karinchak, he's probably gonna supplant him right now until like he gets his confidence back, which is strange because they both have sub-1 ERAs, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's so hard to be mad at Clase for not giving up any runs, but he's just struggled like with a high like whip, I guess. That's the only like negative, where it's all the advanced metrics kind of pointing, hey, he's doing better than what he really is right now.
Yeah, for sure. It like you can't be mad, but it just is what it is.
There's serious warning signs. Let's just say that.
Yeah, he just needs to get through this like rough patch, and then he should be fine. Like, dude has elite stuff, so he should be all right.
For me, Cody Allen was kind of similar, where it felt like every time he went out to save a game, at least 1 to 2 runners is getting on base. And Clase, he's doing the same thing, but he's doing it without the strikeouts and kind of just where Cody Allen was walking guys, and it didn't feel like he was just missing, barely missing. And Clase is kind of just off the zone right now. I don't know how else to really describe it.
Yeah, to me, I think it's more like lack of aggression because he's trying to be more fine. When you're a guy that's throwing 100, you don't really need to be perfect. Like they can't touch him at it. The only thing that's preventing him from being great is himself. And like he just needs to realize, hey, I throw 100. These guys can barely hit me. I can just throw it at them, and like they can't do anything. Like that's the thing he's got to learn.
Yeah, and when he's throwing that hard, I mean, he's breaking bats half the time he gets contact anyways. It's weak contact. Just go at hitters a little more. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, sticking in baseball, because that's a lot of Indians talk. We've got a division rival who's been having a little drama, and that's the Chicago White Sox. And we need them to have as much drama as possible because talent-wise, we'll all admit it, they are better than us. I don't think it's some crazy thing to say. But, I mean, when we've hung with them this year, too, I want to also say that. But they are better, but Tommy Lasorda kind of seems like an old man who doesn't understand baseball anymore. Is that a wrong take with the current situation?
He just is out of touch. Like he just doesn't fit what that White Sox roster is. Like the White Sox are a young, vibrant, just in your face type of group, while Tommy Lasorda is this just curmudgeony, like we do baseball this way. So if you do this, I'm gonna be mad at you. And like and the fact that he's doing this in front of the media of all things, like calling out your main Mercedes for being clueless. Like, why are you calling out your own player in a press conference? Like, if you want to say something to him, do it like in private. Like, just airing out dirty laundry is just that was bad.
Yeah, because like my opinion of just the whole situation, not the Tommy Lasorda of Yermin Mercedes, like at bat, you're up 3-0, you are up 11. Why are you swinging at that pitch? I know he did hit a home run, but we're trying to get this game over with, and they're not trying to burn through pitchers. I personally think just take a pitch there. No big deal. Swinging 3-0, really? I think Yerman's also kind of in the wrong. And I know I'm in the minority saying that because he's a rookie. He's 28 at this point, and he's been trying to get into the majors, and he's having this great breakout year. You're trying to build up those stats, but he's doing it no matter what. He's just been so great this year. Yerman's been awesome. So I don't think you really needed to do that. And maybe I'm wrong here, and I know I'm in a large minority, but I don't think you have to swing there.
Yeah, to me, it's a non-controversy. Like, it's a blowout. It happened. It shouldn't have been a big deal. Like, they had a position player out there. Like Willen Ostadio, who's a catcher who's big and wide, who's just throwing up 47-mile-an-hour lollipops. Like, it's such a non-controversy, and Tony La Russa just made it worse by calling out his own player and basically inciting like him getting hit by a pitch the night after. Like, it's such a non-controversy, and that's the part that just makes me mad about like like Tony La Russa being stuck in his ways and pretty much putting his own player in danger, like it in a sense, like it shouldn't have happened.
I mean, yeah, that's the biggest problem with all of it. Not even that Yerman swung, it's that Lasorda called out his own teammate. You defend your guys. I can understand if the Twins coach comes out after the game and he's mad, like, come on, what are you doing swinging 3-0? Yeah, and I still would, he's kind of right, kind of wrong there, but he didn't even do that. It's his own coach calling him out. You defend your guys, say, hey, we're still playing the game. Go hit a baseball as hard as you can.
Yeah, and like all the other players, like Tim Anderson and like a couple others were like, we're behind you, Mercedes. You do you, and like, and you got your own coach pretty much just like being that guy yelling at clouds at nothing, and like all the other players are like, what are you doing? Like, what are you being mad about?
And it's especially because it's that White Sox team where they feast off that energy and getting excited and bat flips and things like that. It's not like the Indians. The Indians are kind of like a calm, cool, collected. We have a couple guys like Karinchak that do kind of get excited into the game, but most of our guys, they are focused, they are locked in there. And when you see Savali strike someone out, it is just walk to the dugout. That's the end of it. Things like that.
Yeah, like that's just the type of team they are, and like that's why I criticized them choosing Tony La Russa as their manager. Like he's been out of the game for 10 years, and like he had 2 DUIs. Like why does that was not a good look, and now it's just getting weirder and weirder as the season progresses.
Yeah, it feels like a terrible hire all around. All right, so that's enough MLB talk. Let's move on to the NBA. Talk play-in games. Well, really only one play-in game. The first 3 play-in games, frankly, they sucked. Right?
Yeah.
That Lakers-Warriors game, for what I stayed up for, I mean, that's way too late. 10 o'clock? Come on, I'm an old man. You're killing me there, those type of starts. But I did go back and watch it, and it was one of the best NBA games of the year. Probably the best NBA game this year.
Yeah, like that intensity, that just that was just the game of the year in terms of what the play-in game needed. Like LeBron and the Lakers desperately trying to keep their spot, and the Warriors trying to potentially knock them out. Like that's great TV. Like it was great the entire night. Like Steph Curry was hitting threes. LeBron, while being a little rusty, was still LeBron. Like that 3 at the end of the game that sealed it. Like that's going to be on his highlight reel for years to come. Like that was just an awesome.
Yeah. I know LeBron's the one who's going to get all the credit for hitting the huge shot, and that's what everyone remembers from that game. But some of those threes Curry was hitting, double teamed, fading away, the hand in his face, it didn't matter. He was making it that night. He's been, maybe kind of crazy to say, the best player in basketball right now. I'm going to actually rephrase it. Do you still think LeBron is the best player in the world right now?
I still think he's the most impactful player. I don't know if he's the best player. Like if you have LeBron, you probably have a good chance of making a deep finals run. But I still think I definitely agree that maybe Steph Curry deserved a shot at MVP. Like he pretty much dragged the Warriors into a playoff scenario. Like, and he probably had a better season than his MVP year, which is insane to think about.
Yeah. Well, I think Curry might be the best player in the world, but I don't think he was the most valuable player in this league. I have all over my Twitter, I've been Nikola Jokic's #1 supporter all year, defender. People are trying to give it to Curry because he carried a team to maybe the playoffs. They haven't even made it yet. They kind of made the playoffs right now. Yeah, I don't think you really make it until you're a top 8 team.
Yeah.
But Jokic if you just look at the metrics, he's better at everything except scoring, really. And I think Curry might have him, and they're right about the same in assists. Jokic, his entire team's been hurt for at least half the year now. He has also been carrying this team all the way up to a 3-4 seed, which is completely different. And his total, if you just look at total points added, which for me is the most important stat to look at for what a player is doing to his team, it's Nikola Jokic at the top of the list. He's equal with Curry in offense, and then he's added another 100 points in defense. It's it should not be close. Nikola Jokic is the most impactful player in the league this year.
Yeah, despite what Nick Wright, he might be, well, who he said was like the worst MVP in the last 35 years, which, okay, it's not like it was that. It's not like it's complete fluke. Like Nikola Jokic has been a great player for a long time, and now he's hitting his stride as a player. Like he's been the clear cut MVP. If like Joel Embiid wasn't hurt, I would say maybe Joel Embiid, but Nikola Jokic just definitely earned it. Like he's more than earned it.
He's a center averaging a triple double. It's unheard of in this league. He does it all, and I still am going to give it to Jokic, but Curry is definitely moved into my number 2 spot. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely. Like can't complain about that.
Yeah. So one other NBA thing, I think the biggest first round matchup that everyone's going to really talk about is now Suns versus Lakers. Suns have been one of the best teams in the league all year. Who do you got in that series?
I think it will probably be a really competitive series, but I think maybe Lakers squeak it out in 7 games. I just feel like because of the rust that the Lakers still have, it's going to look ugly at times, and the Suns are going to take advantage of it. But I just feel like LeBron's going to find a way to just get them over the top and win that series, like in 7 games probably.
Blind hatred of LeBron, Suns in 6. That's all I'll say about it. No stats, no nothing. I just don't like LeBron. I think he's whiny. He's so annoying. Oh, he got hit in the face. Oh, I'm seeing 3 rims. Yeah, okay. Whatever, dude. He's the worst. I mean, he's so annoying. I don't get how people can like this guy. He's just the most annoying dude on earth. He's always crying. He's flopping. I don't like how he plays. He's the best ever, in my opinion. I'll go to the grave that he's better than Michael Jordan. I don't like watching him, though. He's the worst.
No, I feel it. I feel it. Like, I can, like, take away maybe, like, him his acting skills, like, on fouls, like, and just appreciate what he does with the ball. Like, I can, like, look past that and see the greatness that, like, LeBron is and still does. Like, but I get it. Like, he's not everybody's cup of tea. Like, he's probably the most polarizing superstar we've ever seen. Yeah.
So that's the NBA talk. No real NFL news. Do you got anything else before we close it out?
What are your thoughts on all these no-hitters? Like, do you think it's bad for the game? Do you think the game needs to have some type of course correction? Like, what are your thoughts?
You made a bad mistake. You deadened the baseball. Who goes to a game and would want to watch a 2-1 game or a 10-5 game? And that's the same, like, percentage difference of you getting doubled up. I'd rather see a 10-5 game. I want to see runs again. And these no-hitters and just baseball in general, there's just a lot less hitting. And that's not good for a sport that's dying. And not dying, I don't even want to say that. But it's kind of losing viewership. MLB is trying to kill itself with blackouts and nowhere to even watch the games if you're using streaming services. Making it less runs too, and it's already still a 3-hour baseball game because pitchers and shifts and everything dragging it out. At least have there be runs during the game.
Yeah, I can agree. Like, I had to look this up because you probably know about the year of the pitcher, right? 1968.
Yep.
I had to look up the stats, and the batting average for 1968 for all of the league was 237. You want to guess what the average is for this year?
I think it's like 232.
236. It's history repeating itself. Like, we have all these no-hitters happening in a month and a half. Like, and unfortunately, 2 of them have been us, but, like, it shouldn't be happening at the frequency it is. Like, baseball itself, I think, has gotten to a point where, like, pitching and advanced scouting has gotten too smart, and where you gotta have to nerf the pitching and defense. Like, you gotta probably limit the shifts. You probably gotta maybe have to move the mound back a foot or 2. I know people think that's sacrilegious, but think about it. Pitchers are throwing harder than ever. They know how to get these batters out, and the hitters are pretty much like, well, we can't do anything, so we might as well hit over the ship. And pitchers are exploiting that because they're smarter, better, and just better overall. Like change needs to happen either by hitters or the league itself changing the environment.
And another big thing was the league said they're going to go crack down on like pitchers using whatever their sticky grip is, pine tar, whatever, so be, and they're not. You can see it on the pitcher's hat still. It's not, nothing's being changed. So either say that's legal and have every pitcher at least doing that too, because there are some that aren't using it because they know it's cheating. But like guys like, say Corey Kluber, last night, you watch him, you look at the bill of his cap, you can see the sticky stuff on it. Like Garrett Cole, you've always seen it. Carlos Carrasco, guys like that, you've always seen the sticky grip on their hat. We got to do something to fix that. That needs to just be taken out of the game. I know batters kind of say they like it too because it helps pitchers with their grip and they hit less batters, but they're way too good right now. That's a big thing.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the issue right now is like how do hitters like get back to a place like a level playing field? Like do these teams have to like recalibrate and like fix it in the minors, or does the league have to step in and be like, this is enough, we got to change it? Kind of like in 1968, they lowered the mound, they tightened up the strike zone, and they made the change. And I think the league has to make some type of change, like make the ball like more bouncier, limit the shifts next year when the collective bargaining agreement like comes up, like make rules that create offense again, because right now it's not great for the fan. And at the end of the day, baseball is entertainment, sports is entertainment, and you want to bring fans in.
I think that's the perfect way to close the show, Matt. I think you summed it up perfectly. So thank you guys for watching. Check us out, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next week. Peace out.